Episode 14, top of payday. Talking to the epic photographer today.
There's this great movie where Robin Williams is a photographer.
Yeah.
And he's he's an actor. That's what it is. I've screwed this whole thing. How are you doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
He's an actor, but the photographer is like, he takes the director's side. I don't know how to say this, but the actor's soft. Like, he's just soft. He can't do anything.
Yeah.
Like, we adjusted the focus and everything, and sure enough, he's out of focus. And then he goes home and he gets even worse, and throughout the course of his, have you seen it? The course of his day, he gets more and more out of focus.
That sounds cool.
It is kind of a strange concept, huh?
Yeah.
It's one of Robin Williams' crazier, weirder, stranger roles. Yeah. Can I tell you where it's from? I don't know. No, let's see. I think it was like...
Folks, it's a fact that Robin Williams was a force of energy, more than an influence. We all had a chance to resonate with him.
Right, before lunch, huh? Sometimes before lunch.
Last week, I overwrote the show, scrapped it, started over, and then went way over budget. In fact, I'm working on this show now when I should be finishing episode 13, but we ended up talking about painting, oil painting, like Bob Ross and his show, The Joy of Painting, 90s show. I went through it. I watched it for a long time, smoked pot, sat on the couch, watched him do a few, and then the day happened. My first painting was a campfire. Mostly black canvas, did not work out. Then I tightened up, started trying to do a couple with Bob Ross. Got some of the supplies, and we're going to talk about a way that you can get your free supplies, a way to get free supplies today if you want, and get started doing Bob Ross paintings. Just to check it off the list. Free supplies. How do I do that? Well,
but there's just
first,
there's so many great shots that happen, and you're like, whoa!
Today's music is going to be brought to you by Punch Deck. Punch Deck has graciously, in some sort of maybe moment of misunderstanding, has donated their music to the show. So that you, the listener, don't have to keep listening to all my songs
you're going
all
here,
the time.
You're going here, then you guys go to your thing for 4 hours, and then it's break.
I won't break for guitar solos anymore, too, which I think you'll all be happy about, except me. Gives me a chance to sort of regroup.
Yeah. That's cool.
Here's how you do it for free. I'm just saying, look. Someone should politely contact Jim Carrey, write him, find out the best way. Don't harass him. Don't put flamin' poo on his doorstep, people. Ask him if he is game to getting you started with some paints. Okay, I saw a documentary. He has a lot of paints. Getting it started can be really expensive, and it's prohibitive for some people that want to try this out. Feel two colors blend together and make something that didn't exist before today. It's awesome, and you know it. It's the narrative of how we want things to be. Blank. Now it's great. And, you know, painting is one of those expressions that it can be like that. Instant gratification. All right, so I'm just saying, call them up. If it's been a long time and you're just hearing this episode, good news. his estate is trying to get rid of all that paint. And now that he's dead and we're all gone, it's really excessive. I'm sure you could get some paint previously owned by Jim Carrey. He's got cans stacked on shelves. He's trying to make it so that Steve Martin can't buy more fresh art. If all that paint is gone, you know, he's just stuck with the old masters and works by, ironically, Jim Carrey,
But a lot of it's really easy.
who has all the paint now.
Showed the parent the picture.
Uh-huh.
Like, oh, that's cute. It's like,
Cha-ching. Uh-huh.
People just haven't figured it out yet, because those little tubes,
Built-in commissions on that stuff?
they will last you. I still have tubes.
money we make.
Show you how much I use that. Phthalo blue. And this all came about because of this business that, you know, about the Truman Show.
Yep.
This is not the Truman Show.
It costs money.
This is not the Matrix. It's not Lost in Space.
Yeah. Well, they've also moved us around a couple times.
My friend at the dog park,
Oh, yeah.
Benny the Hungarian dog's mom,
We're like in a closet.
she chimes in one day with her accent. You know, the aliens, they came here, saw the monkeys, and she just kind of stops there. Like, we're out of words? What?
Because the work.
She wants me to assume that the rest, teleologically, or reverse engineered, I don't know what she wants from me. I can't assume the rest teleologically, or however you say that word. It's too big for me. I can't, but I try. So we're synthesized hybrid alien monkeys, I think is what she's getting to. Sure, but why not the same mother, right? I mean, there's enough in common here. Curiously similar, even at the molecular, even the DNA level, when we can look at it with very, very sophisticated, definitive tools. So the same nature, right? Isn't it? Can't it be? So, but no, it's just some way crazy, weird alien that are adapted to their specific planet that's made of
You want to get some photos?
all of our trash.
No.
Plan of the day.
No. You know, I'll tell you what, though. There was one, when I was doing that video, there was the one
Maybe they would be like us.
that
I don't know.
happened like 3 Sundays ago.
But what I'm asking today is that the same nature? Because to me, yeah, it's the same nature. I'm the same nature that made the ocean and the trees and the birds and everything, even though they were so dissimilar.
Anyway, there was this group, and they were all in denim.
Oh, I saw that.
You did? Well, our radios were buzzing about them the second they hit the, you know.
Let me try this. Is it the same nature that compels us to feed a baby? The same things that compel a chicken to sit on an egg.
I'm like, I know where they are.
You know, if you're walking through a forest and you come across a crying baby, what are you going to do? You probably won't sit on the egg, and you'll probably eat the chicken.
I had some ideas about where they were heading with that much alcohol. On my way there, I encountered them, and they're having their epic pictures taken.
There's this, yes, it is nature, but it's our nature over all these millions of years that we're going to want to protect these things because our life is better because of it. We survive and have more because of it. The net result is the same, and so I thought about nature today, and I feel in complete harmony. And this is what I mean by these narratives of truth that surround us.
What a funny picture that is, because
I wouldn't survive in the jungle, let alone a crying baby or an unwatched egg or an unhatched moth for that matter, since I believe I've witnessed a moth waiting for another moth to hatch that never did. Heartbreak because I opened the gate. It was tucked away, but then I closed the gate. And by doing that, it put it in different light.
It worked somehow. The way that I delivered the safety message worked, and they liked it. And then they're like, "Hey, why don't you be in our picture?" I'm like, why not? This should be fun. And so yeah, they were picking me up, or I was picking somebody up, and there was some picking up, and then I started going, this photo has some liability.
I just felt bad. The other moth, the spousal moth, it looked like it was sitting Shiva with this other moth. Like, yeah, come on now. Wait, or, you know, I don't know. Maybe it was waiting to eat it. Okay, cash in. Maybe it was like, you know, waiting to, hey, some of those things you said to me when you were, you know, a worm. Not gonna fly when you're a moth. So I just want to be the first to tell you when he's chewing it out with me and this other moth, or she, I don't know. It's hard to tell. Can't see their lot. I looked. He's chewing out with me. He's eating one of my t-shirts with some sort of beer logo on it. He's getting all kinds of t-shirt drunk. And the cocoon is still on the gate. I've blasted it with the power washer to no avail. Now I have to restain the gate because I ruined it. I was trying to give him a proper moth funeral with the power washer, and now he's gonna get the real funeral because he's gonna get stained right into the stain job of the gate on the fence. But the point here is that nature depends on compassion.
It's God indeed. God indeed.
But the point here is that think it through. We wouldn't evolve. Fact of life. It's just we wouldn't hatch, be blessed, or anything if our moms didn't care. The first mom would have eaten the first baby and said, now what? And then died. And then nothing. But when so much time has passed for things here on earth, and there can be such a delicate balance for life to take hold, we can call it love or compassion. But it's the way, right? For everybody. Is, you know, the way that it's been done, the way it's always been done, the way that people who have survived have done it. And it rings true to us. We call it instinct or my gut. But it is the way.
The elevation, or how many photons of light hit here and there. You can tell just by the speed of it.
People are scampering for their pitchforks because, you know, Jesus and his wine friends are now in with the truth. The light and the way now, I guess. The crisis is, as a whole, we don't give other animals the respect for their life. Well, I don't want to get preachy. I don't know. Some people don't. Animals sort of have this other different thing. Because we're at the very least stewards, or they're here for our entertainment, or to, you know, sustain us, I guess, to some people's extent. I was led to believe that anything other than humans didn't have the capacity for pain or emotion or the need for Jesus, you know, for Jesus to +1 them in at the pearly gates like everyone else. Animals just flawlessly play the roles that he needs them to do and fulfill his will, so they're just in. Or not. You and I both, we gotta get the +1. I think they should want at least 2 of each. He'll get 2 rabbits.
Damn shame.
Or Australianized cane toads, and then things will get out of control. Because trust me, and yourself on this one, them bunnies and them toads, you cannot stop them. You can lick them, either, I'm sure, but neither for long. As you can imagine with the bunny friend, well, I guess it depends on where the licking is going down. But under normal conditions, the bunny would be uncomfortable. Thus remains the back of the toad. Now, this absolutely invasive creature that I've come to understand blankets nearly the entire northern half of Australia. Correct me if I'm wrong. This is from the movie called Cane Toads. Anything that eats it dies, but it surely trips balls on the way out. So licking the back of a cane toad, according to Homer Simpson, who I don't know if it's a cane toad, but he makes for a good episode. Now, doing lines off the back of a toad, that's a cocaine toad, completely different toad. Those are in Mexico. When they're done, these Mexican cocaine toads, they taxidermy the poor creatures, pose them in mariachi bands, painted red with the Coca-Cola Coke logo. Those are cocaine toads. Oh, here comes the swoosh! Oh,
It missed me. It was the Coke swoosh or the Nike swoosh? I don't know.
they're multiplying! We love the genre! But the band thing, too, it's tasteless. It's like that Coke Zero. I haven't even tried it, but you can see now that logo-branded bright red frogs in the mariachi bands now spilling into heaven because of this ban on all things non-human. Did anyone follow that? To me, oh my God, people will chase me down for this. But I'm saying it, there's two creation stories. One for man the animal and one then for man the human. One guy on the whole planet, his wife, is currently pestering him about forbidden fruit. God comes along. Is anyone home? Pop in. Adam, where are you? After those 7 days, he just hasn't been the same. Can't find all his keys to the kingdom. It's clearly embarrassing. We can all see you.
Just checking. That's all right.
He's got no one to talk to up there but himself and the spirit of himself, I suppose. Joe Smith, he's out there.
Right? And this is not that time either. This is such strange snow.
Yeah.
Banging something our way. I remember where he is. Yeah, I know who he's waiting for.
It's rapidly changing conditions.
I quickly decided that at least...
Yeah. Keep your eyes up the hill, though. So people can still get in. Yeah.
I quickly decided that at least the animals I encountered, my dog, cats, ducks, chicken, fish, God, dolphins, aren't too stupid to feel pain. See, I could just whack this fish and you don't even know. I could just keep whacking. You know, fish don't feel a thing. I used to edit fishing shows. That's how I know so much about fish. And here are these things that are unchanged for all of these years. Same primitive brain as always, brain 1.0, the DOS of the human brain. Unsupported, end of license.
Are you going to be sending extra hands, or do we need to send them for base?
It's like a USB tower you can plug 20 devices into. Nope. Well, it's for sale. It's a nice unit. I'll make you a good price. If you need a USB 1.0 tower or some floppy disks to shove into your fish. By the way, don't you love it how Jesus was like, if you need money, you just go grab it out of the fish's mouth. Which worked great when I was cutting fishing shows. By the way, if this show keeps morphing like this, I'm going to change the name to My Brain and make it a Hot Roll spin-off with Fonzie. He'll still be in it. So that some of you who are here for parenting or music could stretch out a bit more. Actually, now we can start documenting some things. You know, Baby Anna will have her own show someday. And we'll see. So far, this is just a fancy journal that I can access when I'm old and frail. I should call it my, case of Alzheimer's. Listen, carry this around my neck so that everybody knows what to do
Doing our part.
with the USB thumb drive this guy's carrying around. All of a sudden, I just don't know where I am.
I just read.
I've recently unearthed my journals.
I just read that.
I've made the promise.
Like, oh my gosh, it's 16 times bigger than we.
And the writing of these journals starts with substance at about 1983. I have something that starts all the way from the beginning, but they're more like drawings and scribbles and things like that. pictures of Kiss that I drew.
16 times. I mean,
There's multiple spiral notebooks, and they extend to 2007.
Thing of trash in the ocean.
Red Pine Road is now open to all traffic. Red Pine Road is now open.
Oh, that's dangerous.
And I'm going to start reading them off into the ether. If you've been following the show, you know why. If you don't, then it just seems bizarre to you. Then it'll be easier for me to translate it to text, just so that I have it. It's hard for me to read, and it would be super hard to type.
Here comes the sun.
The handwriting, my ego, and my ignorance. Go, sing it. No? But here it is. I'm going to read you an excerpt from 35 years later on. It's December 4th from my tiny little bedroom with Farrah Fawcett, Kiss posters folded and taped neatly on the walls, because my dad redid them.
Now the sun even hits this for a second, and it's over. They might just lay us off today.
I still love Farrah. When everyone was crying for Michael Jackson on the same day of their deaths, Farrah, her frail body, dissolving nose, and executive functions gone. Her fans were there. I was there. I wasn't there for her appearance on Letterman. It was hard to watch. But these are the days when her nipples were plastered on the walls of my tiny womb at the bottom of the stairs. Okay, the bed was a single built-in. It sat in the corner, high in the room. And so you can imagine, it had the two wood-paneled sides out, and then the other sides were tucked to the headboard, and the other side is tucked in. So sleeper's left side.
Reported possible 1050 in the high card chance area.
Uh-oh.
Over.
Anyway, you can imagine there were these walls, and it was the perfect for a kid to just run down the stairs, across that landing, and then leap into the air like Superman and land perfectly on this bed with my special blue cape, my powers, my bionics. If I got hurt in all these things, I knew then I would get bionics, and then I'd be the bionic man. So I was really pretty bulletproof.
Chris Williams, and I remember the house where they lived. I suppose it's that steep hill right on the edge of the University of Utah campus. Northeastern edge, I guess, before it goes up the hill to the hospital. And the memories are of, going down that hill on a big wheel and lemonade stands and something about their hedge. But anyway, Chris Williams.
King Hospital, Abbey on scene, Portugal. Somewhere.
Dang, too bad. Early in his life, he was in a tree, climbing around in a tree, close enough to a power line. And I know his son now, which I should mention, he is now gone on to have 2 kids. Those 2 kids, when they came to visit Salt Lake, they would come to Park City or Deer Valley, and I would be their instructor. So I taught them to ski.
It's crazy to see them now all grown up. And we went through that phase together. It was strange. The relationship has always been just a little bit strange, though, and it's been a little one way like that, and it's also been relegated to this more sort of professional, clinical feeling relationship, which I don't like very much. I've reached out a couple of times in the early aughts, and then now, and we just can't.
Anyway, that was the epic photographer guy going down, and the lift stopped. It was awkward. I had to stop talking and pretend like I was on the phone.
The photographer. You talked his ear off up there, poor guy.
Young boy, much like, anyway, his kids came every year, and I would give them ski lessons, and they got better and better, and now his eldest is in college, I suppose, or just about, and then his boy is just like him, and he is crazy. He does this thing called parkour, where they just run and jump on things. And risk quadriplegicy, I guess. He, much like his son, was climbing in this giant tree and sees a power line and thinks, why not touch it? And he does.
King Control, Audi.
It nearly kills him.
King Control. Can I get a toboggan, backboard, and O2 for 15-year-old female, nibbling back pain and rib pain?
They couldn't, he was way up in the tree, so there was this difficulty getting him out of the tree. I wasn't there, I just only have the reports. He is obviously not in great shape, so I don't know how helpful he was getting him out of the tree. The reports were that, he died or came near it multiple times while, getting, in that golden hour. But obviously the authorities got to him, or the, help, enough good help was there. Who knows, even the kids in the trees, whoever it was smart enough to know what to do, and they did it. Amazing, because he has places on his body that are visible, because where electricity went to ground through him, there was a weak spot. So they're not very symmetrical or pretty. And it's usually orifices and stuff too, so he just got super lucky. Top of payday, 12:30. Oh, hey.
That story.
I'll need to get a drill to fix the sound. The sound is all broke.
Yeah, it's a tough story to revisit, but it is part of the overall arc here. And it was at this time in my little bedroom down there, in the nuclear family of 5, and we would go on trips with Chris Williams to different places. He wasn't as much of a Kiss fan. He liked Adam Ant and the Village People. What were the other bands? And then he started to get, we'll talk about it in his punk years, but... So here it is, what I wrote on December 3rd on the first page of my journal.
For my witness, I'll bring her back. Ooh.
Hey dude, how's it going? Sorry I just got you, but what the hell? Today we had a ruthless workout because someone gave the 9th graders a hard time. I was a swimmer. I've got to tell you about WA, Women's Ask Dance, I think, or Women's Association. It was neat. I went with Jackie, of course, and went to the Salt City Jail for dinner with Holly and Lisa. After, we went to the dance, which was okay. The band sucked, but what do you expect? It was in the state capitol building. Jackie looked very tasty. She got mad at me a couple of times for leaving her, but she understood. Did she? Let's take a little break here. I remember these reprimands today, and they made me the man that I am. She asked me how I liked her hair, and I said, up like Princess Leia. And her dress, God, she delivered. I have pictures. I'll have to post it. She was my model for a true woman, and that night she completed the model by giving me a wake-up call.
Anyway, in honor of Chris Williams on his birthday, let's do some, and I'll explain later, but we're going to do some punk rock. We're going to do a little bit of...
Looking back, she just looked awkward alone. I see that picture. Unsupported, all dressed up with nowhere to go. Like Princess Leia with nobody around her. Can you imagine? It's so hard. I'm still painfully aware of where her head was on that night. And that it was, the cause of the drift that separated us. She deserved better. She went out and found it. But she taught me to be better, so who knows. She was in high school. I think she was a year ahead of me too, which was like even a bigger deal, because I think I went to a high school function and I was still in junior high. I hadn't got to high school yet, so this was a super huge thing. And she had to learn that, too, that men are idiots. Selfish, self-serving idiots most of the time, especially the 15-year-old ones. But we were just a few words in, and I can tell you this date taught me all other dates from here on. She was there. Okay, so here's more from that revealing December 4th night. The next day, I jammed with Grant and Ham. I didn't play too good at first, but got it together finally. Nothing really interesting happened today. Pete Brown and I went to McDonald's in Dowd's Land Cruiser, and my mom criticized my poem, which I think was really good, but we'll see. The other day, I told Andrea to fuck off nicely. I just couldn't stand her anymore. I want to go skiing. And now later, that wasn't enough. See how this is comedy gold? After an entire high school experience, guys, I'm going all the way to the end of these spiral notebooks. Now in September, 86. After being in Florida, I got sent there for a month. And now, here's what 3 more years of public school and weed and a trip to Florida did for me. The rain chatters on the distant starlit pane, while the tide washes out and the dreams and memories remain. Tomorrow is leaving day. It's hard to say goodbye when the people and the players have been so good to me. Behind a shuttered plane, I will cry, probably fly. What has been learned in another lesson of love that I can act, or suppose get, in a unit or a section. The sun will bring me home on a wing above. All I have written may explain what has happened, and all that is real.
Oh, the skis are coming off, huh? Right? You're alright. You can do what you like. This is your place today.
Be advised, 9990 will be closed for the remainder of the day for snow safety. 9990 closed for the remainder of the day.
All I have written may explain.
But do let us know if you need anything.
What has happened, and all that is real, but not even words can fully express how I feel. Apparently not. A day will come when I may return on a flagship or a carload, a train or a plane. I know when I return, nature will greet me with a soft patting rain, and perhaps, if I'm lucky, I will have stories to tell of fortune and fame. Today was a good day. Early I rose after dreaming of someone who had lots of guitars, all acoustic and all different. Anyway, I toured, still in Florida by the way, I toured the news press, which was neat. Had lunch with Auntie M at an old refurbished home and talked about my college plans. I had to get into the house by window because I locked us out and proceeded to the Railroad Museum at Fort Myers Beach. I slept for a while, went and watched an Andy play, Andy, at Larry's Bar, and watched Dave Letterman. Selection of Arnie Barnes in Salt Lake City.
Here we are, right by some visible signs of bloodiness. A broken slow sign, blood. Yeah. I don't know, people. Gotta change the sign to no bleeding.
Right? No bleeding. That'll keep people from bleeding. Oh, baby, I'm working the mic today. I want you to know each and every episode I am hitting for out of the park. I am trying to hit something out to the great beyond, to the great eternal, to an audience that doesn't even exist yet. My own self. Whoever will listen. So far, so good. I want to announce that we are all, in my lifetime, we have all achieved the first goal of this show. I think that these people are listening because now everybody is a non-Mormon. They didn't even consult God. Everybody in the world is a non-Mormon. The Mormons just said nobody is a Mormon anymore. We don't want to use that term, even though it's the last acceptable term. If you take it apart, you've got the, and you'll find out we don't need the after you get rid of all this other stuff. So the is out. The. Now the next word is church. And you know how I feel about that word. And most people, it's supposed to be a place for everybody, the whole community, to help and be a good place. Hey, look, if these things that they're doing were happening down at Best Buy or the school for people who look like a dog's butt, that's where we'd be talking about them. But no, it's the Latter-day Saints. So the next word, church, doesn't really work for me. Again, just another word that won't exist once all this is gone. And then we get into JC. The only words I'm going to let really stay in here, for the very fact that, there's just no reason to take him out at this point, except for the Christ part is not like it's his last name. It's more for a fulfillment that isn't part of their thing. So I'm leaving it in as a reminder. So the of Jesus Christ doesn't sound right. Jesus Christ is just fine. Of is another next word needs to be just tossed out. Latter day. There are no latter days. We are randomly placed in a time that is of just no substance to anybody but our own selves. There's no latter day. That's ridiculous. And so that's done. And nobody wants to go around saying that they're a saint. Come on, it's for your own good, people. If you want to leave it in, then you got Jesus Christ, saint. That's fine. But no, on the rest of the words. Guys, Sam Young is still out there. I can't get him to tell me if he's eaten anything, but I'm not on Facebook, and so you'll have to let me know. His last update was very cryptic. I also talked to our friend at the park, the dog park, and I want to talk to you about that. But because sometimes when I go to the park, the sprinklers are on, and it's awkward. And the alternative, logistically, is a pain. It's getting colder, and it's just a pain. So what happens is we just deal with it. And we're in the shade, and it's wet, and so we're kind of off to a bad start when Ellie the dog, and her dad show up, and he's absolutely baked, just baked at 8:30 in the morning with his new girlfriend, and we'll call her tattoo-covered woman that is a jackhammer operator. Well, hello there. Doing my part to keep things safe. Repair person. She repairs jackhammers or crushers. She has a tattoo on each knuckle that spells something, but I can't look long enough to figure out what does it say, and I have to look. So it's really a difficult tattoo for me to. And it's not one I want to be like, hey, what is your pain? Birth pain? Oh, okay, good, great. This is our baby Anna.
That school that I went to on Pheasant Way.
Leo J. Muir, the school of our
youth. You don't have to walk very far.
Loyal to knowledge and truth.
But that school had this hill, a good big hill.
Good big hill. Love that big hill. They fenced it off.
Sleigh riding, especially for winter. But in the summer or any other time, I just love to just run down that thing as fast as my
Not anymore.
could take me.
Fenced it off and put up condos.
Maybe that's where
I don't know about the condos, but someday. Condos are coming.
Skiing was my thingy. So it's not all a blur. It's not all a blur. A lot of impressions were made.
In the 3rd grade? Oh, I got a phone call.
Those calls, and they'll cancel the recording.
Yeah.
Which is bad. I don't like that at all.
You don't like that at all.
Try and keep that fixed.
I know. Most places, they'd cut this out. But then, what else am I cutting out, right? Yeah.
I remember cursive writing. I remember the taste of the lunch.
Hamburgers.
Wearing a shirt in the lunchroom that had 76 on it. And it being the year 76. So 8. My teacher I was in love with, and I think it was a 2nd grade teacher.
Those big, huge open classrooms. They were these big classrooms. They're hard to know. It was 2nd grade. Pretty teacher.
3rd grade?
Had a nickname PT. She'll never figure it out.
But they had a spook alley.
Oh, I tried to get earrings for her too for that
school. That big round looking spaceship looking school. Up on like flood stilts or whatever they were trying to do. Leo J. Muir.
The school of our youth.
M-U-I-R. Yeah, look this guy up someday.
We did a whole show.
I did.
Just
Why did they name a school after this guy?
It's like episode 6 or something.
He sounds like one of the most
We go into detail about this guy.
administrators known.
6 or 7.
And they named a school after this guy, probably because they were afraid that he would beat them up.
That's exactly right.
If you read about him, that's what you will come up with.
That there's no it's true.
School named it after him, because otherwise he was gonna beat you up. In fact, you know what? I should write them a letter.
It's enough. You did a show.
Like old daddy dude.
You did a show. Dad wrote letters. You do shows. Get over it. Anyway, dog park. And his girlfriend. We're just gonna call her tattoo-covered woman. And lovely woman. I don't mean that in any way other than that she's, Ellie's dad spots these guys.
One memory too of walking around after hours at the school with Joanne. So Joanne must have been 3. I must have been...
Ellie's dad spots these guys walking around in their khaki pants, pointing at things with their rolls of paper, and he stops one of the nicer looking ones and just lays on a litany of transgressions.
Oh, and the fall leaves.
He looked sort of most in charge.
Imprinted on me from that too. Because as kids, we went somewhere on a field trip.
He's nodding along, patiently listening as our friend, who is at 9:30, an inebriated Native American, is tearing this guy a new one about the wet benches.
Leaves that time of year.
I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I'm going to get this party started. It's the middlecrats, and I'm a middlecrat, and so when the far left is slapping the far right, or vice, yeah, I'm out of the way. I'm middlecrat.
We got nothing.
Middle child. You know, when these extremes are I don't reside in those extremes.
A lot of polygamy going on everywhere.
Half a choice and half a life is just fine with me.
That you don't know about.
You know.
Getting to the top, gotta tuck you away.
I stand in a role like I'm a friend because I am. I'm helping this guy who's railing into this other, county worker. I'm trying to make it look like I'm helping my Native American friend and his girlfriend through something difficult, and they're just in a lot of pain. And, this is just a tough time, and that's why he's yelling at it. This is totally, completely out of normal, and, I'm just trying to sort of make it look like that's the scene he's just walked in on. I'm just helping this couple through, obviously, tattoo pain, for one thing. And the man from the county tries to explain the lack of infrastructure and county resources to allocate, blah, blah, into the water. They have to leapfrog it. Nope. Trippin' balls and all, Ellie's dad gives the guy another loop of the same rant that escalates. Anyway, vote for me as your new middlecrat leader to lead us to mediocre lives. We're at the dog park, and the county guy is keeping this as classy as he can, even though this is clearly a situation that he could, just say, look, pal. Later, after he left, I started talking with one of the guys with the khaki pants and the rolled up paper. And if it weren't for the paper, I might have took him for one of the young hoodlums, because they just look out of place walking around this park.
Slow sign. Yeah. So close. Down slow sign and evidence of blood.
Blood?
Yeah.
Where?
Just bottom of the Turtle Trail. Our bank of slow signs. Skiers right. Or spilled coffee.
Did we need to go down there with a bag and a shovel?
If you wanted to, I suppose it could be. It's a good spread. I couldn't have just done it with skis or anything like that.
Of blood or of coffee?
It's hard to tell. It looks to me like it could be blood, but I don't know. It just could be.
So it's Turtle Trail on the right before you make the U-turn.
Yeah, and I don't mind doing too. I've been sort of
the big baffle line. It's the
far right. Looks like somebody, because you can kind of see the narrative, because it looks like somebody, caught a branch.
Oh, they didn't hit the slow sign. They hit a branch and then the slow sign.
Who knows if it all happened in the same event? There was just definitely lots of broken branch, broken slow sign, and no, you've got lots of rubbing to do. You need to spend some time with the rubbing.
Hey, it's Katie, man. How are you?
Get that in there thorough.
You overachieving today?
No, I just don't want to ski past it down slide. See, I should have covered up that blood, because now she's gonna get on it. But it might need to be red bagged at that point when it's that much. Hazmat. Woo!
What's going on? Mice? Going mice again? Got a leader on home run.
One of the avalanche cats didn't make it. I don't think that avalanche cat program is even going to work.
Is it a 1050?
No, I'm just kidding. I don't know where I'm going with that. But
no, the blood on home run?
Oh yeah.
Actually, blood on home run?
It could be. It looks to me consistent with somebody skiing along, hitting a branch, brake, ow, whoa, slow sign, whoa, bang, bam, ski, yard sale, bleed, wow, we better go.
It was not called in.
I didn't hear it, no.
He's calling 3 Kings.
Yeah, it's
The rolled
been
up paper and the pointing really sells it,
time that
I
don't
guess.
see any evidence of a person.
And so I chat him up. I thank him thoroughly.
Nice.
Meg
Right there is the end
comes
of it all.
comes down with her big slobbering giant Saint Bernard,
Right?
and she strokes the guy
I usually keep that
way
for
past his
myself.
budget for the day.
Yeah.
And so I left.
You do.
Today, the next day, Meg and I are detailing the story to the dog Pocket's mom,
Got my juices
Pockets.
going, and we
for that matter, because Pockets is
like
such a
some
good
of the
dog.
best turns of the whole
Meg
season
suddenly
going
says,
on, for us anyway,
and then
on
Chief,
Harley's Park,
our
and then
drunken
later on
chief,
Chestnut.
pipes up about wet benches, and I fly in like a referee, throwing my hands out. Wait, no.
And then, you know,
And she interrupts me and tells me, no, that's what he wants to be called.
It is just.
So,
I'm proud because my skis are still skiing it nicely. Even at the bottom, I can still glide along.
I talked to him later. He wants to be called Chief. Yeah, he's got this whole story about some guy who was a racist bastard,
But it's
said, we're going to call you Chief from now on. It stuck.
Lake home run
I told him my name is Cracker Ass Motherfucker. He can call me that now. When we go to the Ute games. My gosh, he wears the Ute shirt and everything. Go Utes! At least the Redskins can say they're talking about potatoes, right?
That's right.
We get this single-toothed, single-feathered Ute mascot for our team. Great team too, by the way. Go
He's
Utes!
showing me a picture of it.
But come on, and the stubbornness to change it. Like, yeah, we can see that it's it's on the borderline, and we're gonna be the borderline. We don't care. It's our mascot.
No, mid mountain.
Utah has a history of just wiping out.
Yeah.
Anyway, so with all due respect to the other generations, by the way, Generation X
That stuff is good.
still has yet to fully eclipse the other generations. Like
is.
Trump is like the
There's
last,
nothing feeling about it. You just want more and
it's
more.
the best
Your life becomes
the baby
occupied
boomers
with
can
what
do.
The recipe kind of makes
And
it
he
to home.
is. He's
Yeah.
the embodiment
It's
of
good.
the
If you're
great,
into that kind of
wonderful
thing, it's
people that
super
are
good
in the
shit.
baby boomers. He
Yeah, then you'll love that. Get some
rose
bread,
to the
maybe a
top
slice of cheese,
because
and
that's
little
a
couple
very
drops of Tabasco.
overwhelming sentiment of that now outdated time. And just as our
Oh,
generation,
soup.
the Gen Xers,
Yeah.
no way. We brought
pair it with
you people
Mountain Dew.
music. We shaped things up. I was born right as Martin Luther was like doing
I had
it.
that same conversation with someone like on the lift or
Actually,
something like.
never mind. He had actually been shot a few months before I was born. But nevertheless, good man did some good things, considering the
I used to be that. It was
huge
just
amount of
at
slavery
5
that
o'clock,
existed
5, 6, you'd go
long
and
before
you'd open
that.
The fridge and you'd pour a big old.
We still have a lot of
vitamin D,
eclipsing to do.
And 2% came along and skimmed.
We're just
and it
simple
ruined
people.
The whole thing.
Who names the generations anyway? What? Who gets that job? It's just, Dick Cheney. You want Dick Cheney as your spokesperson? You can trade him out for Trump. Him, those guys.
My fingernails just fine.
I just want you all to retire. Make some room in the job
You
market.
drink a big tall glass of milk from time to time.
It's no use. You're not going to save us. Just retire. Go rest. Put the lid on the Industrial Revolution and drive your Cadillac. And let the Gen Xers go buy a Tesla,
You got the whole.
put up some solar panels, and grow
And
their
the
weed
Because they push, they sell chocolate milk as a
while there's still some sunshine.
chocolate milk. You know the deal on chocolate milk, right? That's the milk coming out of Bessie that ain't looking milky. That's the stuff that I know. All we gotta
Hot roll is an esoteric term from the television production industry, loosely defined as a continuously recording device on a subject so the subject can be viewed at a later time, or otherwise sped up action. Please try this at home. Also, remember, for as much editing and things I forget to do, mistakes I make, this whole thing is a fictitious place. Lies, I know, so incongruent with everything else. It's fiction. It's a place, it's a sandbox. And we need that in our lives. So happy thoughts and happy times in the sandbox. We're gonna do it again. I still have a few more episodes before we sum this whole thing up and bring it all
we keep
into
coming back to Fat Boy, but now they are
focus.
basically, it was like, well, you know, all
Right.
you need to do is cut out the Fat Boys.
Right back to focus. That place of uncertainty where light isn't converging, harmonizing, touching just right so that we can resolve what is in that area. It's soft. And those places exist. It's not darkness, but it's not brightly lit.
Yeah, because I just don't buy it. Except for half and half, and I
Yeah. So be your brother's keeper. Add more days to trees' lives, to your dog's life, to your friend's life, to humans' lives. Till then, be safe out there.
Cry in your sleep, far away from me. How can you love and never be lonely? And you will find I'm not that far away. Sunshine and rain. Every day is a shiny day.
Wait, that's more than grams, right? You start measuring in different ounces. Like,
You
when you
miss
start
me.
measuring
All just trying to get by, but I know that I won't. All I know is I love you.
Yeah, it's that.
Sunny day, sunny day.
To the room from calories. It's crazy how bad those things are.
Yeah.
Great.
So
Boys cleaned up. Brother's keeper.
I do, and and then I try and keep this on now too because I just don't want. I mean, look at this face.
Should have keep good baby socks. These coconut oil.